Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeshatarine. Everybody. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Just sing everybody. No problem.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Rama Rama Rama Hare Hare
Nice. Haribo. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome. Good evening to level 3, week 2.
Yay.
Hey. Okay. So as you all know, there are no quiz for level 3. So the quiz and the question and answer all will be done during the session. So feel free to participate. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Who remembers the question? The Energizer question I posted few days ago. Who remembers?
Who am I?
No.
Cepat sangat.
That's okay. I love it. Is Tamari Mataji there? She was very enthusiastic to... Mataji, you are here. Do you remember the question?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Who do we ask for help?
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so, ta-da, ta-da. Okay, speak your mind. If you have a doubt or question, who would you ask? Why? Okay, would you like to go or shall I call name? Okay, Jagadish Mataji, is your name there first, alphabetical order?
Oh Lord, Krishna, help me.
Not alphabetical order technically. I don't know how the participant names appear. Because you're co-host. All right, Jagadish Mataji.
Krishna only must help me. I seriously do not know. But anyway, just ask.
Okay. The question is like what you see here. If you have a doubt or question, who would you ask? Why? It could be anything, Mataji. Any question. You can ask.
A lot.
Recently, when you had a question, who did you ask, and why? Why you went to that person particularly?
It can be about anything, is it? Work or spiritual or whatever, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So whenever I have a question And if it relates to, certain things that I don't know, I really don't know, right? And I don't know who to ask actually.
Okay.
I really don't know who to ask, but I will find the closest person that may have these answers, and I go to that person. And why I do that is because that's what my mind tells me to do based on what I know, based on how the chronological order of the incidents, and that's where I go to that person.
Okay, so it's generally your friends, relatives, colleagues, boss?
It will be my colleagues lah.
Ah, okay, so your colleagues. So your reason is because they are close to you?
They are close and it's work related most of the time.
So you
And that
find
is
it's
why
reliable to ask
yes,
them.
correct.
Okay, okay, very good, Mataji. Okay, next, anybody else? Shobha Mataji? Kamari Mataji, yeah. Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
Anybody?
Now, I was thinking questions. I will ask question based on what's the topic that I need the answer for. I suppose anything to do with technology, I have to ask my husband. Suppose if related to my studies, then I'll ask my supervisor.
Yeah.
And
You're doing PhD, Mataji?
yeah, so yeah.
Ah, congratulations.
Oh, okay, thank you. And then if it work related, usually friends, so I can ask some unnecessary or stupid questions, so they don't mind. But if I have to ask the bosses, then the question I have to be a bit intelligent lah.
So you will ask the questions to the very relevant people, right?
Mostly. But then again, work first we go to friends first, like hey, what to do with this, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear from another person, Shobha Mataji. Mataji, would you like to share? Who do you ask and why? Mataji, I can see you're unmuted. Are you speaking? Because we can't see the mic moving. Okay,
Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, okay, now can.
Okay. I think it's similar like the rest. Sometimes can even ask Google.
Yeah, that's a very nice answer, Mataji. Yeah, Google. So what kind of people do you approach, Mataji, and why?
Yeah, it's similar to what other Mataji said. It depends on the context of the question.
Okay.
It depends on the context of the question. If it's work, then of course the colleagues and the boss. And then if it's non-work, sometimes you can approach colleagues or even your boss because maybe like, you want to work from home. You want to give a reason. So those kind of questions you're asking, what is the suitability or whatever. But other than that, I think it's family, friends. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it looks like we spend most of our time with colleagues, right? So, and all our questions mostly revolve around work. Yeah, definitely we want to ask the related people. For example, we want to ask certain area of work. We want to go to the person who is expert in that. All right. So our questions is generally linked to the point with that we ask relevant questions to the relevant source of knowledge. Like we want to understand about mathematics, we want to go to the maths teacher. Similarly, we want to understand spiritual questions, we go to the relevant spiritual sources and not anyone else. So in this sense, if I have personal questions, then I go to my friends who are devotees. So there are certain questions that a friend come devotee could advise me, which other friends cannot. And sometimes I do ask my children also. Sometimes they are good in some PowerPoint technicality. They also can tell me. And sometimes when you are so doomed, like Arjuna, you're in a situation where you don't know to turn left or right, then I ask my spiritual master. So thank God for that Guru Maharaj is approachable and reachable, even though it's not immediate, but eventually I can reach out to Guru Maharaj when I totally clueless. So otherwise we don't really disturb them. Otherwise, we usually, some devotees, they turn to books. Sometimes, generally, people also turn to books. They are like clueless. They don't know what to do. So they, simply open a book. Oh my God, there's a beetle in my room. All right. Sometimes they open a book. Sometimes they open Bhagavad Gita. Just turn to any page and you will find some wisdom there. So there are so many ways we turn to people who ask when we have questions. So it boils to, what is the question? What is the question? Where do you ask? Who to ask? When? Why? And how do you ask? So there are ways to ask, right? To spiritual masters, generally you want to be very submissive, very gentle and nice. So it's not in a challenging mode. All right. So yeah, remember we are entering week 2 here. We're going to ask questions, and asking questions to the right source of knowledge. So this is where we want to see here. How do we know this is the right source of knowledge? Because we are asking spiritual questions. All right. So we don't want to ask questions to parties that are not very well versed. All right. So this is a recap. We have learned the similarities. We have 4 main similarities: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Okay, generally these are the similar activities that we do. Okay, with animals, same. And there are differences among so many other differences. So many differences. The major difference is that we ask questions. All right, animals don't. All right, particularly we ask philosophical question. What kind of question? That's the second thing. Humans ask questions. And what kind of questions? Animals do not ask philosophical questions, but humans do. Okay, so this is important. What kind of questions we ask? All right, we are asking questions. Every day we ask questions. All right, and we need to know where to ask these questions. Okay, so when we have questions, we need answers, obviously. And where will we get answers from? So there are different ways we can get our answers from. So the aim for this week's class is for us to understand that the real answers can be found only at certain places through certain mediums. Okay, so the goal of this program is to get commitment from all of you to do something, which I will ask at the end of this class. Okay, so let's go back here. Source of knowledge, right? So we want to know. There are 3 types of source of knowledge. Okay, there is a situation, and then you're going to get knowledge from various sources. So generally, the Indian philosophy, the Vedic philosophy say there are 3 sources of knowledge that we can get information from, knowledge from. They are generally called pramanas. Okay, first is pratyaksha pramana. Okay, don't worry, I will go one by one later in English. And that second one is anumana pramana, and third is sabda pramana. Okay, pramana generally means proof. Okay, pramana means proof and means of knowledge. Okay, how we get the knowledge, that is pramana. And how you get the knowledge, what are the pramanas? There are 3 types: pratyaksha, anumana, sabda. Okay, through these three means we will get the knowledge. Okay, these 3 means will lead us to knowledge. Okay, pratyaksha, anumana, sabda. Okay, try to remember that. Okay, let's go to first one. We are going to the first one, pratyaksha. Pratyaksha literally means direct sense perception. What is direct sense perception? How do you first get the knowledge? If you remember in the Jnana Yoga of Bhakti Bhagavad Gita section, we have learned the 24 elements. If you remember, the first 5 is the senses, and then we have the working senses. So remember that. Why these are called working senses? Because when they work, this is where you get the knowledge from. Okay, look at this one, your direct perception in taste. Okay, I have a question to Kanti Mataji. Mataji, okay, look at this first picture here. Yeah, there is a mouth here. Actually, it's referring to tongue. Yeah, tongue is the sense of taste. And you have a donut here. Based on your experience, what is your perception about this donut here? What will happen if you taste it? What is your perception?
Sweet.
Sweet. All right. How about this one? Ears. What is your perception about this?
Sentimental music.
So it's music, right? Music. Okay. Okay, how about this? Sense of sight. What do you see? What do you think about this?
Beautiful bird.
Very nice. Next, the smell, nose, smell, and you have a rose here.
Nice scent of rose.
Yes, nice fragrance of rose. Okay, this picture I am not sure, but generally, what do you feel when you apply your sense of touch? What do you feel?
Crochet. It's a crochet.
It's a crochet. Okay. So what do you feel? What does it give you? What kind of feel?
The satisfaction of making something.
The texture, right? Right. So these are all, thank you, Mataji. So these are all how we perceive things around us. To get knowledge, you want the knowledge about the taste of donut, you want to taste it, and then you will tell, oh, this is a sweet taste. Oh, this is a soft taste. The texture is soft. So you're applying all your senses. So this is one way you get to perceive things. Okay, by tasting, by hearing, by seeing, by smelling, and by touching. Okay, so we get this knowledge by direct sense perception. However, how much are these correct? Okay, these are very direct, right? Definitely you taste something to know what does it taste like. You want to hear a music to know what kind of music you're listening to. And then you want to see what kind of thing is there. And then you want to smell. And then you want to touch. These are very direct. Let's go a bit one step higher. We see, there are things that we see, generally people say seeing is believing, right? But there are things that we see, but we don't believe. Okay, let's take one example here. Prema Mataji. Ready, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Please tell me, what do you think about this picture here, the highway? Why do you see, it's like, how's my question? It's like, do you believe what you see?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what do you see, Mataji?
I see it's a long, lengthy road which breaks at the end there into two different parts.
Okay, so if you can see, the highway is like narrowing all the way. So do you think the road is getting shrunk or getting narrowed?
Okay. I think because we have drove this type of roads few times, so as you're driving, the length is the same, the width is the same. So
yes.
Yeah.
Correct, Mataji. Similarly, also the railway track, right?
Yeah.
We will think that it's going and eventually it's joining together. Is that the case?
No.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Welcome.
Okay. So these two pictures is already a proof that seeing is not believing. Okay, next I want to ask Prema Papu Mataji. Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prema here.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. What can you see from this picture here? We have sea, we have a boat here, noon, Jawa di sana. So what do you see here?
What we see here is like the boat going to drop, as though there's an horizontal line, there's a square, it's not a round, it's not round. Actually, it's round, right? But then we see a straight line.
Yes.
It's like it's going to drop the other side, which is not true.
It is not true. What are another thing? Can you see the sky is like touching the sea?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it's touching the sea as well.
All right. So that is not that the real thing?
Not, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Last two picture. Yashoda Mai Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, what do you think about these two pictures? They are showing reflections, mirror, glasses. What do you see? Do you believe what you see in these two pictures?
The one with the girl is like, the picture is like out of the shape. Different shape.
Distorted, right?
Yeah.
But
another picture, also upside down.
Upside down. Is she really standing upside down? Is she standing on the ceiling?
Tasting on the right, but in the mirror is like upside down.
Yeah, okay, so you can see, thank you Mataji. So here we can see in the last two pictures, this girl is looking at to her reflection in the mirror and her shape is distorted. She looks weird, but in real, it is not. She's not weird, she's normal. And here this lady, she's standing, but in the reflection, it appears that she's upside down like Spider-Man. So that is not the real case. So these are the few examples, like you see here, these are direct perception, which can be true. But it's not the same case for everything. You can see the road is narrowing there, and then we are so afraid, oh, what if we get crushed, something like that. And then here the two tracks are joining, so that is not the real case. And then like Mataji explained, the ship is like almost going to fall on the other side, which is not. The sky is not touching the sea. And then there are weird looking reflections here, but it's not true. So at this point, we can ask ourselves, so do we believe what we see? Many things we see, but we don't believe. What about things that we believe, but we don't see? Okay, let's see this one. Okay, Tamari Mataji. What can you say about these two personalities here?
Okay, one is Mahatma Gandhi. He got Indian independence, fought for Indian independence. So the other side is our, oh my God, first Prime Minister. Sejarah koyak. And then these are the politicians who actually fought for the independence, I believe.
Have you seen them, Mataji?
No.
But do you believe that they have existed and they have done something?
Yeah, right. Yes.
All right.
I believe. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
And then the other one is the atom molecule.
Yeah.
So mathematical
I really don't know. Anybody from this line, Mataji? Are you from this line? I don't know what sum is that. I have no idea. Infinity, is it? Is it? No, it's not, right?
No, it's not.
So this pictures is supposed to tell us that there are things that we believe in, but we don't see them. Like Mahatma Gandhi has fought, like Mataji said, and Tunku Abdul Rahman is also our Bapa Kemerdekaan. We have not seen them, but we name places after their name. Like we have Kampung Tunku, right, in Kelana Jaya, I think. And then we also have Kampung Gandhi. So Gandhi is not belonging to India only. We also have Kampung after his name in Malaysia. And then we have these atoms and molecules here. They are there. We don't see them, but we believe they are there for some reasons because they have been verified. And this is really no idea what mathematical sum is this. Okay, so it's to show that there are things around us we don't see, but we believe in our daily life. Okay, why these things are happening? We see, but we don't believe. We believe, but we don't see. All right? Why? The important point here is that we have 4 defects. Oh my. We have 4 defects. I know we are not perfect, but what are these 4 defects? I don't have defects. All my fingernails, everything fine. I have 2 hands, 2 legs. Anybody knows what could be these 4 defects? Saras Mataji, are you here? This is Saras Mataji's. Okay, Mataji's not here. Okay, so I thought Saras Mataji is here so we can have a dialogue with her, but unfortunately she's not here. Okay, so there are 4 defects. What are they? We have imperfect senses. Okay, we commit mistakes. Number 2, we have the propensity to cheat. Finally, we can be illusioned. Okay, so this topic for today is revolving around this. How we are influenced by these 4 defects. Okay, we have these 4 defects. Everybody has these 4 defects. And why it is important for us to ask question at the right source, because of these 4 defects. Okay, for example, okay, let's go one by one. How is my senses are imperfect? Okay, for now you already know because we already gotten a glimpse of the railway track, the highway, the sea. Okay, so first what is this, Mataji? This color thing here, like a rainbow.
I think this is the light spectrums.
Yes, that's right. So we can see here, our eyes do not have the ability to see everything. Okay, this is the visibility of light. Okay, what are the spectrum of light that we cannot see with our naked eyes? Anyone?
UV,
Correct.
gamma ray. It's there. No X-ray,
Yeah.
ultraviolet.
Correct, Mataji.
It's all there.
What else we can't see with our naked eye?
Infrared,
Yeah.
radar. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't see the X-ray, right?
Yeah.
We have to use X-ray to see what's inside, so we cannot see through things. Okay, yeah, thank you, Mataji. So we can only see in certain range. So that is our limited ability of our eyesight. Okay, that's seeing. How about this one? How about this one? Anybody wants to share your thoughts? What can you see here?
This is customs or police use it. Dog have a very acute sense of smell compared to human. So something like their nerve, more nerve, like millions of nerves in their nose. So if they train them properly, then they can sniff out all these drugs and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's many things, not just
nerves.
drugs also. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that's the ability, extra ability of dogs. Only dogs, Mataji. I mean, I'm just asking your general. I mean, anybody can say. Is it only dog has this very strong sense of smell? All animals, is it?
I think
so far is dogs, Mataji.
So far it's just dogs, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's great. Okay, so let's move to hearing. So can anybody share what are your thoughts about this?
I think bats are close to very supersonic hearing, I think.
Wow.
Because they are blind, right? So they need to use their hearing to fly, navigate when they're flying.
All right. Oh, they're blind. Okay.
They are blind. So when they make noise, so the reflection will come back to them. So they have to hear that. So their hearing is very, very good.
Okay, so the way they hear is through reflection of the sound around them. So they know how far is it or how near is it. It's like that?
Yeah, something so. Yeah, exactly like that.
All right. So you can see here, elephant can hear lower, what do you call this method? Frequency, right? Okay. Elephants can hear very low frequency, below 20 hertz. Human range is from 20 to 20,000. Cats and dog can go up to 40,000. And then bat can go up to 160 and dolphin beyond that, right? So they are more attentive, okay, like dolphins. So, sometimes in the dark, they can actually hear, right? And some animal, they can see in the dark. Okay, so.
There's another voice frequency that older people cannot hear. Heard about that?
No.
Yeah, there's a frequency, that only youngsters can hear. Like, we are somewhere in 30s or 40s, all cannot hear that frequency.
Oh, so who can hear, Mataji? Below what age?
I'm not sure exactly. There was some videos on YouTube. We check with your kids. I played it. I couldn't hear it. So my son can hear. Me and my husband cannot.
Oh, that's so creepy. How old are they, Mataji, when you tested? I mean,
10. I mean, I tested before, but actually they use this I think in UK, UK or somewhere, where the teenagers will lepak, right? So they don't want to this shops or whatever, they don't want them to lepak there. They put this kind of music so they deter them to lepak there lah.
Wow. Right.
Yeah, they use that.
Right. Yeah, so we can see that as we age, our ability to hear is diminishing. All right, so thanks, Mataji, for all these interesting sharings. So this is basically to show us that our senses are not complete. All right, so what happens when we take knowledge through our senses, which are not perfect? right? So we will get we tend to get imperfect knowledge. So we can never say that the knowledge that we perceive through our senses is perfect. Okay, so that is one small little story example. So for example, this person is walking outside of a place, and from the room nearby he heard somebody is screaming, calling his name. Oh, look here, Mr. Whatever, I'm gonna come and kill you. And then he got so afraid and he quickly called up the police, and then the police came, and when they ambushed the room, it is a drama theater and they were actually practicing some play. So from what he had heard, he made a wrong conclusion. Okay, so that's landed him in trouble. All right, so this is a very short example how we can make mistakes by simply using our imperfect senses to perceive things. Okay, so imperfect senses can actually misguide us. So knowledge acquired through this way is not perfect. So remember, there are three ways to acquire knowledge: pratyaksha, anumana, and sabda. Pratyaksha means direct perception. So here we can establish that acquiring knowledge from these direct perceptions alone will not give us perfect knowledge. So that's number one. Okay, let's go to the defect number two. Defect number two is to be illusioned. To be illusioned. Very simple here. What can we see here? Okay, it's not very easy lah. I don't need to ask you all. Okay, sometimes we mistake ropes to be snake. All right, and then when your hand is warm, you feel the temperature of the water is cold. Whereas when your hand is cold, you feel the temperature of the water is warm. All right, the water temperature would be the same. It's just our hand temperature could be different. So we think, oh, the water is so cold, or the water is so hot or warm. So we tend to make conclusion like that. All right, so here there's a picture of orange. So yeah, I changed the screen. Is it okay? Am I on the screen to be illusioned?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. I thought, yeah, just now I terbabas to number 3, Mataji, so I went back to 2. Okay. All right, so this orange, it is mentioned that with sugar it feels sour. So it is mentioned that after eating anything sweet, you can't see. Maybe the lines is a bit slow.
Maybe on her side is lagging, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, don't worry about it. Just carry on.
Okay.
I'll just follow through.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I can hear you though. All right, so this orange, it is said that if you take something sweet and then you take orange, it will taste sour. But if you take a lemon, something sour, and then you take orange, then the orange will be sweet. So orange tastes the same. All right, it's just that our condition differ, and therefore our perception about this taste is different. Okay, so this is illusion, third illusion. Fourth, okay, this one everybody knows, right? Mirage in desert. Sometimes we also see this on a hot road. Okay, in a distance you will feel like there's water on it, and then this happens in mirage in the desert. All right, when you go near, it's not water, it's just the heat going up, right? So you can see this on the ordinary road as well. So this is all illusion. So this will give us wrong idea. So when we see things, we are illusioned. We don't see the thing as it is. Okay, this is defect number 2, and this is why knowledge through direct perception can be with defect. All right, not perfect. So we have done 2. We have done imperfect senses, to be illusioned. Third is to commit mistakes. So generally it is mentioned that the pituitary gland is deemed as an useless organ, but actually it has great use where it is any doctors here? What does it do? What does pituitary gland do? It tells other organs to release hormones. Can anybody else explain what does pituitary gland do? Okay, we don't have the doctors here in the house. Okay, so this is what it was mentioned. The brain was said is an organ to cool blood, when actually it's not. So these are all mistakes that were done in the past. People think different things about, wrong things about brain. Okay, and generally they also say to err is human. Okay, so we have done 3. Now we go to the 4th one, propensity to cheat. So any educators here caught your student cheating in exam? So what do? You either suspend them or you disqualify them from sitting for the paper. Okay, this is cheating in exam. So various way of cheating. And we also have businessmen that are cheating. Yeah, me too. I've done in the past, long ago. And then I remember we were used to, I don't know, I made a mistake. I took Tamil paper, and then there was a very small class. So actually my friend and I, we were exchanging papers, and the teacher just didn't bother. So we were doing very openly, exchange paper, and we did it. So we barely passed anyways. All right. So wow, calculus. Okay lah, very difficult, Mataji.
Zero pun tak lulus Mataji.
I barely, actually, she would have failed, but she copied mine, so she barely passed lah. All right, okay. Yeah, that's so embarrassing, right? Zero also cannot pass. I mean, I passed lah, but barely passed lah. I didn't get B or credit. I think I got C6 lah, like that only lah. That time SPM can. Okay, so some get caught, some do not get caught. Okay, so I don't know these three other guys here. These are from India, but we definitely know this guy in spec, right? Siapa ni? Siapa ni? Very famous. Isn't this the J-Lo? J-Lo?
Yes, he's the one, J-Lo.
He's the one. Yeah, so apparently he is a fugitive now. He's got some wrong connection. Somehow he got involved in top people in the cabinet, and now he's a fugitive. I heard that he's in China, so I don't know how true is that. Okay, so like this, some get caught, some do not. Okay, and Yudhishthira Maharaj in Mahabharata, he said that in Kali Yuga, this tend to happen very often because this is the quality in Kali Yuga. People cheat. Okay, so let's recap. Who remembers what is the first defect? First defect.
Imperfect sense.
Imperfect senses.
Very good. Next.
Commit mistakes.
Commit mistakes.
Okay. Okay.
Illusion.
Okay.
Cheating.
Cheating.
Very good. Okay. Because we have imperfect senses, what we perceive is called illusion. Okay, because we're not seeing the thing as it is, so we come under the influence of illusion. And because we come under the influence of illusion, the decision or the knowledge that we take or the activity that we do lead to mistakes. We are also judgmental. That's right, Mataji. Why we are judgmental is probably because we do not see things as they are. Okay, we see from the outer layer. Do not judge the book by the cover. Yeah. Okay, sometimes when we investigate, still we make mistakes, right? Why? Because of this, right? Isn't it true? Because the senses are imperfect. We come under illusion, and then we make mistakes. And then when we make mistake, what do we do? What do we do when we make mistake?
We cheat.
We try to, what do we do?
Cheat.
We try to cover, and that is called cheating. Okay, so let me put this in a story. Okay, see, one boy in the dark, he went to the kitchen, he wants to take a water, and he accidentally stepped on a rope, and he thought that is
Snake.
Oh, so good. Yes, Mataji. He thought it is snake, and the glass that he had in his hand, what would have happened to the glass?
Dropped.
Drop, and then break. And then the parents come and ask, what happened? What a kid would do, to tell me, Mataji.
You lie.
What will he lie?
Why? Did you ask why?
Yeah. What would he
So-
do and why? Somebody got the
Yeah.
knife here.
So that it doesn't get smacked.
Yeah, so he tries to cover. He probably will say nothing, or he quickly sweep off the things so the parents don't see. Yeah, can you see the flow? Imperfect senses, illusion, commit mistake, and cheat. All right, so knowledge acquisition through direct perception is not perfect. Okay, so when we know that we do not have perfect senses, We have these 4 defects. How can knowledge be without defects in Pratyaksha Pramana? Okay, this is called direct sense perception. Why it's not perfect? Because we have these 4 defects. So what we have just done? We have just done Pratyaksha Pramana. So there are three ways to acquire knowledge. Pratyaksha Pramana. Number 2, Anumana Pramana. Number 3, Sabda Pramana. Now we are going to Anumana Pramana. Okay, you will get used to this Sanskrit name. Anyways, Pratyaksha means direct sense perception. So you can remember this glass story. Okay, you can remember that. Okay, Anumana literally means inference, means you have an observation and then you want to infer what you have observed, right? You're making a conclusion, all right? You make a conclusion based on the facts or based on logics or based on whatever that you think, okay, that it is. Okay, sometimes people see things, people infer things by seeing. Sometimes people infer things by not by seeing. Sometimes they put just whatever knowledge that they have, whatever experience that they have, okay, behind it, and they make the conclusion. So let's see this. This is what theory is this?
That all humans are from apes and monkeys.
Okay, that's right.
I think that's what they say in Tamil.
Yes. What else, Mataji? Who did this? Who propagated this theory? Very famous.
Darwin.
Yeah. So
Darwin.
Yeah. So this is one example that we can choose how speculation do not give true knowledge. A practical example of Anumana Pramana or wild speculation. Darwin's theory that proposes the idea that human beings might have evolved from apes. Darwin tried to find out how life came into this universe with all his researches. So basically he has used his logics and assumptions to come to this conclusion that humans are from apes. He finally admitted in this book, The Origin of Species, so apparently he finally admitted that he resorted to wild imaginative speculation. Okay, he says this himself in the introduction to his book, The Origin of Species. So he also admitted that his speculation is not the perfect knowledge. So this is one example. Okay, let's see more examples. Okay, Kajai Mataji. What is the distance between your home and place of work?
Yo, Mataji, I work from home.
Just now you were rushing from meeting, right? Okay, just tell us roughly how was the...
It's about 12 kilometers.
How do you know?
Based on my ways.
You're driving, Mataji?
No. I've got somebody else driving.
Okay. So how do you know it's 12 km?
Looking at my GPS.
Okay. If you do not have GPS, can you actually estimate how far is that?
I can estimate, but I won't be right. I won't be correct.
Okay. So basically, you will know what is 5 km like, you will know how 20 km is like, and then you will try to infer something in between. Something like that,
correct.
Right?
Roughly. Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Next question. Meena Mataji. Meena Mataji. Are you there? Last week we couldn't hear you. Hope we can hear you. Okay, no. Why Mataji? Do you cook?
I cook curry.
Okay.
Amount of salt to be put in a curry.
How do
I would say it really depends on the amount of curry or the amount of meat and ingredients. Okay. Then I will just, it's like an agar-agar, you know.
Agar-agar. Can you tell me like how many grams, 5 gram or 10 gram for this pot of curry?
Okay, just like a normal pot of curry, I would say 3 to 4 grams.
Oh wow, you are so good. I can't even tell that. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, 3 to 4 grams, yes.
Wow, you're so good, Mataji. Okay, I would probably say 1 pinch or 2 pinch or probably half a teaspoon. Sometimes you just use hands, right? My mom used hands.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can not exactly say how much salt to put. It's more like judgmental, right? Okay, yes. And then last question. Okay, who walks? Jagadish Mataji, do you walk? Like every day, do you walk?
Yeah.
Okay. How many steps or walk you walk today?
I don't count my steps. I just count, the kilometers
how long
you walk around my It's like about 45 minutes.
Yeah, can you
So
tell how
at
many
least
steps
I
more?
know 45 minutes, it's about almost 4 kilometers, but I've never counted my steps.
Okay, let's get a Mi Band for you, okay? Yeah, okay, so putting the Mi Band aside, we usually will roughly gauge how many steps we walked. We cannot know for sure, right? But even Mi Band cannot be accurate because sometimes even a small vibration also it counts as step. So even that is not perfect. Okay, so unless you count consciously. So all these examples, we are actually gauging the distance, the amount of salt, number of steps walked today. So these are, we are, people in Tamil, we say kuti kalichi, right? So we cannot do that. All right, roughly, this is estimation. So let's give you this very famous example, how people can speculate something if they do not see, all right? Anybody knows what story is this?
The elephant and the blind man.
Yeah, how many?
Oh, 6.
There are, I think there are 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Wai Mataji, would you like to share what this each person are thinking about this elephant? So they were given an elephant statue. Of course, you can't stand in front of a real elephant. So what do you think? What can you see from here?
So basically, all 6 blind men, or at least they are blindfolded, they were asked to feel and describe what an elephant is. So everybody has their own perception based on what they feel at that moment or at that spot. So, you know, like the blindfolded man on the top, he touches the ear and he thought, oh, it looks like this is something like a saw, right? Not a saw. What do you call it? Yeah, with an axe, yeah. And then the tusk looks like or at least feels and looks like feels like a arrow. And then the trunk feels like a snake. And the one at the back, actually can't really see. Okay, so the tail, he probably thought, but what is that picture? Can't really see that.
What do you think? What do you think is this? The tail feels like.
Does it
a
feel
rope?
like
It feels like
hair?
rope. Yeah.
A rope. Okay. And then the guy who's actually squatting down, he thought that was like a tree trunk. And the guy who is touching the body part, what is he thinking? Or what is he?
I mean, let me zoom. He thinks it's a wall.
Oh, it's a bricks. Oh yeah, it's a wall. Wall bricks, right? Yeah. So everybody has their own perception of what an elephant in their own mind. Right? Not having to know the entire what an elephant looks like. So this actually tells us that it is not what it is, or they are more than meet the eye.
Yeah, that's so right. 2 points. Mataji say it's not what it is, or it's more than what you see, what you feel. What is that again, Mataji? Could you say that again?
More than meets the eye.
Yeah, you say something.
That means whatever you see, you think that it is, but actually that's more to it.
Nothing is what it seems, and it's more than what we see. Yeah, there's more to it, something like that, right? You say.
Yes, correct.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. It's very nice. So there are 6 perceptions of 6 different people because they are not seeing, so they just feel, and based on their experience, they are concluding, oh, an elephant is like a trunk, an elephant is like a wall, an elephant is like a snake, so like that, because they only see some part of the elephant. And the last person here, his thinking is a rope. Why don't you all understand that the elephant is like a rope, you know, this kind of things? Don't you understand the elephant is it looks like a snake? So like this. So they are using PRATYAKSHA pramana. They are using their sense, their touch, sense of touch. Okay. And after that, they are using their ANUMANA. Okay. Their touch, right? Okay. Let's put it in English. Okay. They perceive with their senses, and then they use their speculations, their logics and their experiences. They are making a conclusion that the elephant is a rope, it looks like a rope. The elephant is like a brick, it's going to fall like anytime. You know, these are the way they are making conclusion based on PRATYAKSHA pramana. and Anumana Pramana. Okay, they are using their Anumana Pramana based on their Pratyaksha Pramana. And then they are trying to speculate. Okay, they are speculating based on their perception using their senses, other senses, because they can't see, so they're using other senses. So this way they went on arguing until they resorted to the help of a learned man with proper eyesight. So they went to see a person. Can you please just tell us what is this elephant actually is? So the learned man will tell them, all of you are right from your angle. You're not wrong. Definitely it looks like a rope. It looks like a tree trunk. Definitely it looks like a whatever the picture that you have here. But beyond that, the actual picture is that the elephant is like this, right? It's all putting together and more like that. So they are right in their own aspect. So they're happy. Oh, okay, I'm not entirely wrong, right? They are not entirely wrong, and neither they are not entirely right. Okay, they just have the part of that knowledge, so it is not the full knowledge. Okay, so how do we get the knowledge? Okay, let's see, watch a video. All right, how do I do this? Okay, hold on. Let me just interrupt for a while. So you watch this video and then later you can share with us what do you think about this picture, this video. Okay. So, Kanti Mataji, what do you think happened to this guy?
Let me laugh first.
All right, take all your time.
Okay. This is like what I think is what animal is that actually? Is it a dog?
I have no idea. Is that a bear? I think it's a bear.
Bear?
I think it's a polar bear.
Polar this particular animal doesn't know how to use the machine. So without knowing how to use the machine, it has like practically ruined the machine and ruined itself.
Why did that happen, Mataji? You got all the points correct. Just one only.
Why did that happen? I feel is because one is maybe he didn't really read the user manual. No one there to guide him on how to use it properly. And yeah,
that's correct.
Can result to a lot of pain.
Yeah, you have covered everything. This guy, he didn't read the user guide properly, and he didn't have a guide to guide him. And I think Tamare Mataji also got it, tak baca user guide. Okay. All right. And Mataji mentioned that it damages the user and it damages the machine. And something to add, it is dangerous to the surrounding as well. So all this happened because he did not turn to proper guide. Tak baca Manual. Okay, so he has no idea about the machine. All right, he was doing trial and error. Let me see what happens when I press it. Let me see what I press here. So when it backfires him, he gets so angry. Okay, what he was doing was, he was using Anumana Pramana. He was assuming, he was speculating. If I do this, I'll get this. If I do this, I'll get that. So he did not read the manual. So sometimes we want to find answers for situation in life this way. We don't know for sure. Let me try this out first. Let me try out this first. Let me try it worked for somebody else previously. Probably it will work for me as well. Something like that. We would do this, and then we don't read properly, or if we read, we don't have the proper understanding and we apply it wrongly. All right. So Pratyaksha Pramana doesn't give perfect knowledge. Anumana Pramana also doesn't give proper knowledge. So what should we do then? All right. Beside direct perception and speculation, there is another means of getting knowledge. That is, who remembers before I move? What is the third one?
Sabda.
Very good. Okay, Sabda Pramana. Sabda means hearing. Another word is also Shruti. Sometimes we say Vedas are Shruti. Okay, hearing from authority. Sabda Pramana is the process of gaining knowledge by hearing from a bona fide authority who is free from the 4 defects discussed earlier. Okay, we have 4 defects. All right, and we want to get knowledge, and we want to make sure that the knowledge is coming from somebody who is perfect, who doesn't have these 4 defects. If the person has 4 defects, then please skip this person. Do not get knowledge from this person. Okay, like that. Okay, so I have this one question. Ta-da! Kajai Mataji, question for you. What was the first dish you prepared, and from whom did you learn? Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What was the first dish you prepared, and from whom did you learn?
Ayyo, you want me to...
Maggi me pun jadi lah.
You want me to admit this in front of everyone? I shall do this. The first dish I ever cooked was dal, and it was actually from my mom. Sambar, for those of you who know.
All right. So why did you learn from her, and what do you think of your experience?
Okay, this is my honest opinion. So please, everyone, don't diss me. So I think my mom is not a very good cook. That's to begin with. The instructions were not... Mataji, my mother, this is the problem. Okay, so the reason why I learned to do sambar is because I like murungaka. So I love murungaka sambar. I learned from my mom how to do sambar. Let's just say she's not the best person to guide. Yeah.
Okay. What dish you think you have learned from somebody who's really good in what they are doing?
So I lived with my aunt. She's cooked for the family of 12. So she's an amazing cook. This is a recipe I learned from her, which is chicken ketchup. Oh my God, chicken ketchup with green peas. It's amazing. It's super yummy. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat chicken anymore. So I've replaced it with mushrooms, but it's so good.
So yes. Okay. So now what do you think about this lesson, this knowledge that you got from your aunt?
I think there is so
much ability.
I think there's so much more I can learn from her. She's like an encyclopedia of menus. Unfortunately, I only learned a few, but I think she just knows so much more, and I've just learned like amount. Yeah.
Right. So thank you, Mataji. So you have regarded your aunt is the authority of the ketchup dish, right? So you have actually modified that from one dish to another using different ingredients, and you get pretty much the similar result. So in this case, she's the authority in that. All right. So we want to make sure that we are learning from person who are the authority of the certain area. Okay, so this is the third way of getting knowledge. We get it from hearing. So Kajai Mataji gotten this knowledge to cook this certain dish, this particular dish, by hearing from her aunt. Okay, so this is a way to get answer by hearing from a bona fide authority. right? You can't go to anyone and everyone. For example, Mataji also mentioned that she tried to learn from another person, from the mother, but it didn't work out well. So, but somehow she find that learning from her aunt has given her better result. Okay, so like this, we can't get spiritual instruction, spiritual knowledge from a gym instructor or a grocery seller. It's just not their forte. All right. So this person that we are going to get information from ultimately should be free from 4 defects. Okay. So if you ask me an address in Singapore, I cannot give you because I've never been to Singapore. Okay. So I cannot give. So you have to ask somebody who has been to Singapore and who is very well versed with Singapore. So that person can help you. Okay. So if he is the authority who teaches you something, okay, then it should be easy for us to verify their authenticity. Okay, it shouldn't be difficult. Okay, what book are you using? I'm using the book written by this author. Who is this author? What is his credibility? I'm not so sure. So you see there is so much of uncertainty there. So that means this is not a perfect knowledge, and you have to get it through the right way. So it has to be published by certain publisher. It has to be passed by MOH or some Kementerian MOE like that. It has to be authenticated. Okay, otherwise it will be like the 6 blind men trying to figure out a huge elephant in a very limited scale. So the knowledge is not perfect. So what is the author? So now we have come to the best way of getting knowledge is through hearing. Now, where are we hearing from? What is it that we are hearing? When you come to spiritual knowledge, you are turning to not an ordinary people, you are turning to Vedas. All right, Vedas and spiritual masters. Spiritual masters, they repeat what are in the Vedic scriptures. So, question, are Vedas subject to the 4 defects? How do we know how do we establish that the Vedas are free from 4 defects? Okay, Vedas means the Atharva Veda, Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda. These are only the main Vedas. So there are many more Vedic scriptures given to us by Srila Vyasadeva. Okay. Okay, so let's see what Bhagavad Gita is saying about Vedas. So we can go to verse 15 here. Can ask Prema Mataji to read for us, please.
Read the sloka or the translation, Mataji?
Up to you, Mataji.
Okay. Sharvashya chaham hridi sannivishto mata smriti jananam apohanam cha vedasya cha sharvair aham eva vedho vedanta kridhi vedavid eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me came remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, thank you, Mataji. In 15:15, Krishna is saying, hold on. Krishna is saying, okay, so somebody asked the question here, yeah. Vedas, is it written by people or characters who have authenticity? So is that how we establish the reliability of Vedas? So here Krishna is saying, who has compiled the Vedas? I am the compiler of the Vedas. I am the knower of the Vedas. So which means the Vedas are coming from Lord Krishna himself. And Lord Krishna is undoubtedly a personality who is free from 4 defects. Okay, so this is why spiritual knowledge should come from the Vedas, because it is given to us by a person who is free from the 4 defects that we learned. All right, and Krishna says that, okay, Purusha means human. All right, let me just explain this. Purusha means human. Apaurushaya means not of a man. It did not come from a man. So Vedas are Apaurushaya. The Vedas did not come from a man. The Vedas came from Krishna to Lord Brahma. All right, and then Lord Brahma to Narada Muni, and Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. So this is how it has been brought down. So ultimately it comes from Krishna. So Krishna says he is the compiler of the Vedas and he is perfect. He is free from the four defects. Therefore the Vedas are perfect. Therefore any knowledge that coming from Vedas are perfect knowledge. Question: is accepting Veda simply blind faith? We will see that also. Okay, before that, let me show you this. Although we are not flying now, but I'm sure all of us have flown somewhere, right? So do you go to pilot and ask his license before flying? Right? No, right? We don't knock the cockpit and say, hello, Mr. Pilot, can I see your license? Because my life is dependent on you. So I want to know if I'm, flying on a good plane. No. All right. And then when you go, somebody goes to surgery, do you like wake up from that surgery bed and ask, can I see your medical license? I just want to know that you're qualified to operate on me. No, we don't. So how do we rely on these people? Anybody would like to share why you take flight, certain flight? Grab driver pun don't ask license. Yeah.
Destination, Mataji.
Destination? What destination, Mataji?
Where we want to go. I mean, how we choose the flight.
Okay. So how do you know that you are safe?
I think basically
taking the risk.
Yeah, like a company, right? They would have gone through interview, vetting, and all that. So we assume that the company hire a qualified person lah. So we put faith into the company reputation.
Correct. Yeah, Shobha Mataji is correct. Tamare Mataji is correct. We are putting our faith in the airlines. All right. We want, some people like certain airline. Like myself, I don't want to go on Malindo anymore because I got this phobia of the turbulence. It was very, very bad. So the second time also I had very bad experience and I think I don't want to take Malindo anymore. So we have our reasons. However, when it comes to the reliability of the pilot, even though it's not fully in our control, we have faith on the airlines. Okay, and then second ones, you have faith in the hospital. All right, in the hospital, and of course before you go for surgery, you will check what kind of doctor is this. You probably want to have some reviews from people and look at his qualification before, right? And so you don't question them. You don't even know whether the doctor is removing any extra organs from your body. We don't know. Okay, so we just have faith on the company that hired them, like Mataji mentioned. Okay, so this faith that we put, it's called reasonable faith. It is not blind faith. Okay, so this faith means, the reasonable faith means it should be verifiable. All right, the authenticity of these people who are giving you knowledge, it should be verifiable, so reliable. Therefore your faith will be reasonable faith and not blind faith. So can you see, I am taking you slowly, right? Vedas, are they given by a person with full of defect? Oh, so it's because of just because Krishna gave, so do I put my faith in it? Means this faith, this Vedas, this Vedic scriptures has been authenticated by a lot of learned people. All right, so it has been reviewed by learned people. It works. It's given a certification that it is perfect knowledge. Therefore, we are taking it. So again, giving you the difference between blind faith versus reasonable faith. Okay, there are two ways you can differentiate this. Reasonable faith should be sensible and verifiable. Okay, this is a little technical, so you can just pay little attention here. Sensible means it should have credentials, reputation. So yeah, right, Mataji, somebody mentioned reputation, right? Reputation, sorry, credibility and diagnosis. All this should be seen. Okay, you should verify this. How do you verify? Based on the results. Okay, so how do you verify? Some examples from Vedas: the appearance of Lord Buddha, the appearance of Chanakya Pandit has been mentioned in scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. And then in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, there is this particular section where it describes in detail the development of fetus. Marriage is blind faith. Adu faith, Mataji, F-A-T-E. Okay. So there is explanation about fetus, how the fetus grow. So it seems at one point of time, the fetus skin is there is no skin, right? There's no skin. So at that point of time, until they develop the skin, the mother is not encouraged to have something spicy because it will burn the body of the fetus. So all this information and knowledge is found in Bhagavatam. So even if you want to verify by the modern medical means, you will find that it is true. And Bhagavatam was written what, many thousand years ago. Okay, so this is verifiable. Okay, verifiable. Lord Buddha's appearance is verifiable. Okay, verifiable. There are a lot of things. Even Prabhupada's appearance is verifiable. Lord Chaitanya's appearance verifiable. Next, we can wait and see if Kalki's appearance is verifiable, but we don't want to wait until the end of Kali Yuga, because at the end of Kali Yuga, people won't be religious anymore. People won't be eating. Everybody will be meat eaters. So we don't want to stay until then. So let's finish up our business and go back. Okay. Okay. So there is one verse from Bhagavatam. A foolish person who contrary to following information from the Bhagavatam, this is in contradiction. A foolish person who manufactures his own ways and means through mental speculation and does not recognize the authority of the sages who lay down unimpeachable directions is simply unsuccessful again and again in his attempts. So a person who wants to do things on their own, okay, everybody cannot survive on Kali. I mean, now also cannot, right? Right. So a person who wants to manufacture his own way, he will fail again and again. Okay, no matter how much he tries, because he's not acting based on perfect knowledge platform. Okay, you can keep making your own pratyaksha and anumana. You keep perceiving, you keep do the anumana, pratyaksha, anumana. You keep doing that, but if you do not hear you do not hear from the right authority, then the process becomes very difficult and you will always end up being unsuccessful. So we can see now among the three, which one is most reliable, okay, the most authentic, pratyaksha or anumana or sabda. So it is sabda. Generally, we want to believe in applying pratyaksha. We want to see it. Seeing is believing, but we believe things that we don't see. All right, and if we don't perceive it correctly, then we tend to fall under illusion. Okay, then we make wrong speculation, wrong conclusion, and therefore we end up making mistakes. And then we try to cover that. So we cheat. Right? So the best is Sabda Pramana, hearing from the right authority, because they have heard from the perfect knowledge. The perfect knowledge coming from a perfect person. Okay, so there are wonderful, reliable places to get spiritual knowledge. Okay, so we have actually come to the end of this three ways of acquiring knowledge, but there are a few more. Okay, so just stay on. Okay, 3 types of pramana. Mataji, please give me the 3 types of pramana. First,
Pratyaksha.
Very good, Mataji. What is the meaning? Anybody else also can?
Direct sense perception.
Very good. Okay, let's do this. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Sabda. So the first is direct perception of senses. What does Anumana means?
By inference.
Speculation, assuming.
Very good. Speculation, inference based on observation. If anybody from Tamil media, you will hear this anumanit, because I've seen this word in my girls' books. Anumanit, you think and something like that, right? If
Anumanam, right, Mataji?
Yeah, Anumana means think, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Speculating lah, Anumanam.
What is your conclusion or something like that? I've seen in their science book. Yeah, so that's relatable if you know some Tamil words. Okay, what is Sabda?
Hearing from a bona fide
master.
Very good. Yes, hearing. Can I have the 4 defects?
Imperfect senses.
Okay.
Cheating.
Illusion.
Committing mistakes.
Yes.
Cheating.
Very good. So if you remember the flow, right? So you can, if you want to explain to somebody, then you can use this flow. You will never go wrong. You will not forget the points. Okay. So we have done Pratyaksha, Anumana, Sabda. So where do we hear from? Where do we hear from?
Vedas.
Very good. So what kind of faith we put on Vedas?
Reasonable faith.
Okay.
Reasonable faith. Yeah.
Do you remember the 2 elements we apply on this, on verifying this before we take knowledge from these Vedas? There are 2.
And sensible.
Very good, and verifiable. Yes. So happy. Yes, thank you, Mataji. So for the upcoming week, so we do not put blind faith. Wherever we can verify, we can put our faith there. We put our faith where we can verify things. So it's highly encouraged to do this. Okay. So based on this activity, we will see what are the questions we should ask and verify in upcoming weeks. Okay. So every week we will have a little bit reading on Nectar of the Holy Name. So we can ask somebody to read. Anybody, Mataji? Prema Papu Mataji.
Chitta means knowledge. Without perfect knowledge, one cannot act perfectly. The real source of knowledge is the vacha, or sound vibration, given by Vedic instructions. Here, the word vacha or vibration means the Vedic vibration. The origin of creation is sound vibration, and if the sound vibration is clear and purified, perfect knowledge and perfect activities actually become manifest. This is enacted by the chanting of the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thus, Lord Shiva is praying again and again for the purification of body, mind, and activities through the purification of knowledge and action under the pure directions of the Vedas. Lord Shiva prays to the Supreme Personality of Godhead so that his mind, senses, and words will all turn toward devotional activities only.
All right, thank you, Mataji. So that is why it is important to chant, because we want to be engaged in devotional service. So generally when we chant, the meaning is, oh dear Krishna, oh dear Radharani, please engage me in your devotional service. So the chanting is the means and goal of devotional service. When you chant wholeheartedly and with pure intention, amazing things happen. Wow, so glad, Mataji. Thanks for sharing this. It's really inspiring when we share this, our realization. Okay, so every week also we would like to encourage everyone to share what you have learned, because these are very general things, right? You can always share, like Ajay Mataji says, she was sharing about this class to somebody. So it's great that we share information with our friends. Okay, one slide here for reading available. Yashoda Mai Mataji, can I request you to read, please? The importance of sharing the message.
One who has perfectly heard from the perfect source becomes convinced about the all-pervading personality of Godhead, and thus becomes enthusiastic in glorifying the Lord. All the great acharyas like Ramanuja, Mandava, Chaitanya, Saraswati Thakur, or even in other countries, Muhammad, Chris, and others, have all extensively glorified the Lord by chanting always and in every place. Because the Lord is all-pervading, it is essential to glorify Him always and everywhere. In the process of glorifying the Lord, there should be no restriction of time and space. This is called Sanatana Dhamma or Bhagavata Dhamma. Sanatana means eternal, always and everywhere. Bhagavata means pertaining to Bhagavan, the Lord. The Lord is the master of all time and all space, and therefore the Lord's holy name must be heard, glorified, and remembered everywhere in the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity so eagerly awaited by the people of the world.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So people are out there waiting for you to share information with them. So we want to utilize this fortune. Okay, so shouldn't have any restriction on time and space. Anytime, anywhere, however it is. Okay, so Shravanam, Okay, our devotion service starts from Shravana. This is a video from by Prabhupada.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam. Every one of us, we are imperfect. We are very much proud of our eyes. Can you show me? What qualification your eyes have got that you can see? He does not think that I have no qualification, still I want to see. These eyes are dependent on so many conditions. Now there is electricity, you can see. As soon as there is electricity off, you cannot see. Then what is the value of your eyes? You cannot see what is going on beyond this wall. So don't believe your so-called senses as the source of knowledge. No. The source of knowledge should be by hearing. That is called Shruti. Therefore, Veda's name is Shruti. Shruti Pramana. Shruti Pramana. Just like a child or a boy wants to know who is his father. So what is the evidence? That evidence is Shruti, hearing from the mother. The mother says, he is your father. So he hears, he does not see how he became his father. Because before his body was constructed, the father was there, how could he see? So by seeing, you cannot ascertain who is your father. You have to hear from the authority. The mother is the authority. Therefore, Shruti Pramana, the evidence is hearing, not by seeing. Seeing our imperfect eyes, there are so many obstacles. So similarly, by direct perception, you cannot have the truth. Direct perception is speculation. Dr. Frog is speculating what is Atlantic Ocean. He is in the well, 3 feet well, and some friend informed me, oh, I have seen vast water. What is that vast water? Atlantic Ocean. How big it is? Very, very big. So the Dr. Frog is thinking, maybe 4 feet. This well is 3 feet, it may be 4 feet, all right, 5 feet. Come on, 10 feet. So in this way speculating, the frog, Dr. Frog will understand Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean. Can you estimate the length and breadth of the Atlantic Pacific Ocean by speculation? So by speculation you cannot have. They are speculating so many years about this universe. How many stars are there, what is the length and breadth, where is the... Nobody knows anything. Even of the material world. And what to speak of the spiritual world. That is beyond, far beyond. Parastasmatu bhavanya bhaktya sanatana, you'll find it. Bhagavad Gita. There is another nature. This nature, what you see, the sky, around dome, above that, there are layers of 5 elements. Again, this is the covering. Just like you have seen the coconut, there is hard covering. and within the covering there is water. Similarly, within this covering and outside the covering, there are 5 layers, 1,000 times bigger than the one another. Water layer, air layer, fire layer. So you have to penetrate all these layers, then you will get the spiritual world. All these universes, unlimited number, koti. Jasaprabha prabhavato jagadanna koti. Jagadanna means the universe. Koti. Many millions clustered together. That is material world. And beyond that material world, there is spiritual world, another sky. That is also sky. That is called Parabham. So, by your sense perception, you cannot estimate even what is there in the moon planet or sun planet, this planet, within this universe. How you can understand the spiritual world by speculation. This is foolishness. That Shastra says, Achinta khalu jivava natastarki no jujay. Achinta, which is inconceivable, beyond your sense perception. Don't try to argue and understand it and speculate. This is foolishness. It is not possible. Therefore, we have to go to the Guru. Tad vijnanatham sa gurumeva avigacche samitpani sutriyam brahmanishtam. This is the process.
Okay. All right, so that's the end of our session today. Okay, let me come back to these books for a while. Okay, so actually all of you, hold on now. Thank you, Mati. Okay, all right, so since you have been with me in level 1 and level 2, and I believe all of you have started chanting, like